Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Just got done with work, and I am happy to be headed home on this rainy, cold day. So today, I was asked a question about how much these guys are getting paid when they're drafted in the NFL, and I thought it would be a great thing to kind of discuss with you guys and kind of inform you guys of how that process actually works. So basically, back in the old days, there used to be no cap. It used to be a free-for-all. So if you were drafted in the top 5, top 15, basically you were getting paid and you were set for life. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong for all you fact checkers out there, I believe Jamarcus Russell, his class was one of the last groups to kind of, before the collective bargaining agreement happened, to kind of benefit from those top round draft picks. I think Jamarcus Russell got over $100-something million coming out of college, with about maybe 50 or 60 of it guaranteed. But what happened was they had the CBA, and the veteran guys were getting upset, and kind of rightfully so, were getting upset because all these rookies were coming into the game, and they were having all these huge contracts, $100 million contracts, and it was hard for them to kind of get this money no matter how well they performed. So what they did was they started to cap what rookies can make and kind of have it as a sliding scale of what they can make coming right out of college. So fast forward to, so there's no longer any more of those $100 million ridiculous contracts. As you can see, Jamarcus Russell got one of those, and we all know how that worked out for Jamarcus Russell. I think he might have lasted in the league for about 4 years, and he was out of the league. But fast forward to 2018, it's a little different. I mean, these guys are still getting paid, don't get me wrong, but obviously not as much as they were getting paid. And the idea was that because they were no longer giving these rookies these huge contracts, they could then go back and filter all that money back into the veterans, so the veterans could now get larger contracts based off their performances, and get money that they've earned rightfully. So that was the idea, and that's how it kind of works today. So fast forward 2018 draft. Now we'll take Baker Mayfield for example, because he was the number 1 overall pick in the 2018 NFL draft. So to break it down, and again, these are rough numbers. These are rough numbers, and they're not 100% accurate, but they're pretty darn close. So being the first round number 1 pick in the draft, Baker Mayfield will sign a 4-year deal with his team for about $32 million or $32.5 million. Okay. What'll happen is he'll get 21 point whatever million guaranteed right up front, right off the bat. Signs a contract, he's got 21 million in his bank. And then over the course of the 4 years, he'll get the rest of it. And I think it breaks down to about $5.5 million a year that he'll get after that. So people also were asking me, well, why was Josh Allen so upset when he went to Buffalo at the number 9 pick? And I can only imagine that A, because of the competitive nature, B, because he thought that he was going to be the number 1 pick. A lot of people thought that he was going to be the first number 1 pick of the draft. Everyone thought that Cleveland would probably go with him because he's this, about 6'3", pocket passer type of guy, more prototypical type of quarterback. So, he, along with everybody else, thought he'd be the first quarterback off the board. So just to give you kind of like a breakdown of why he probably was mad, because not only did he not go number 1, but by sliding all the way down to the 9th pick, he essentially lost like $10 million. So Josh Allen would probably get about $21 million over 4 years. And instead of getting about $21 million guaranteed, he now gets somewhere around like $13.5 million guaranteed right up front as he signs. And then $3 million over the next 4 years. So you're talking a lot of money when you're talking about these guys getting drafted and how they slide. Saquon Barkley, kind of the same numbers. He might get about $1 million less depending on how they negotiate the contract. but he'll get less, obviously, because he's the number 2 pick. But it'll be like $1 million. So instead of like 32 million contract, he'll get a 31 million. Instead of like getting 21 million guaranteed, Saquon will get about 20, and then he'll make a little less than 5.5 million over the next 4 years. So, I mean, it's not like these guys aren't getting paid, but you have to understand that the lower you slide, the less money you're gonna get over that rookie contract, and it doesn't put any pressure, but and I also think it keeps you hungry, because you want to make the idea is to make money doing something that you enjoy doing. But the further you slide, and so if we go to the last pick, which I still think to this morning, I think that is the most ridiculous thing in the world, that Lamar Jackson slid all the way to pick number 32. The quarterback from Louisville slid all the way down to number 32 and went to Baltimore, which I thought was a great pick by Baltimore, and I think it's a great place for him to go. He obviously won't start there in the beginning. He'll be able to learn and get some information on the Joe Flacco and things of that nature. But sliding all the way down to the pick number 32, his contract being the last pick of the first round, he'll get about a $9 million contract, right? Of that $9 million, about 4 point whatever million of that contract will be guaranteed, and then he'll make a little over 1.8 million over the next 4 years. So you can definitely tell the difference between being a number 1 through 5 type pick and being a number 32 type pick. And again, the sliding scale keeps going lower and lower and lower, obviously, until you get to like the sixth round, where it's like, you're talking about thousands of dollars instead of millions of dollars. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little breakdown. If you have any other requests that you'd like for me to talk about in terms of like the NFL, how things work, or anything sports related in general, I love to talk about it. Again, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you guys soon.